In this tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to use Connection Card Pro's new follow-up and interactions feature. Interactions is what we call any sort of touch or contact to follow up with someone. You can use this for tracking follow-up, for keeping your team on board. But when you go into a person's profile, so in this case we have a fake person named John Smith, you'll see a yellow thing here that says no interactions. If I click on no interactions, it will allow me to add an interaction. There are two different types of interactions that I can add. I can either add an interaction that I have made. So in this case, I would leave follow-up requested unchecked. I would select who contacted or followed up with this person, this individual. So in this case, I'll choose Kyle, and the date of interaction. So we'll just say that on Friday, April 10th, Kyle had a phone call with John. Now I can add notes here as well if I'd like. So we'll just say it was a productive and in-depth meeting, and we will save that. So now once we save that, now we can see that there was a recent interaction with John Smith. It occurred on April 10th, and it was by one of our other members, Kyle. Now I can also add a new interaction by clicking the new interaction button. The other type of interaction is where you are requesting follow-up. So in this case, if for some reason you have a person, individual, guest, member, visitor, whoever it may be in your church or your organization, and you want to make sure that someone on staff follows up with this person, you can check the follow-up required checkbox. Now you are choosing who has requested that someone follow up with them. So for example, if a pastor says this person would be great to follow up with, you can choose that pastor. If the person themselves has requested follow up, you can choose themselves. And then you can leave a note as well saying, John would really like to talk about becoming a member of our church. And then I can save that. So now when I save that, we now see a follow-up requested flag. Now if we go back to our person list, if we click on columns and select follow-up, click Save Changes, we're now going to see a follow-up column, and it flags us, telling us that follow-up is required for John Smith. Someone has requested follow-up for him. We can also sort by or filter by the follow-up menu. We can filter seeing only follow-up required individuals, so you can see all individuals who are currently flagged as follow-up required. So we're going to go in and view John's profile. We can see here that follow-up has been requested. If we click on this, it will bring up the details of that interaction and allow us to enter a new interaction. For instance, if we had completed follow-up with John Smith, we can mark it as resolved. We can choose who followed up with them, the same details as you would add for any other new interaction, although this time we're actually resolving an existing request for follow-up, and then we can leave a note as well. Now, if you go into the Communications tab on the person profile, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see a list of interactions and follow-up, which will give you basically a log of all interactions that have been recorded and any follow-up that has been requested. Now, in this case, we see that it is still outstanding because this follow-up request has not been resolved yet. But if we click Resolve, it gives us that same box that it would give us if we clicked on the red follow-up required flag at the top of the profile. We can mark it as resolved. We'll say that we've spoken with John in a personal visit today on April 12th, and we can save that. Now we can see that our follow-up request has been resolved. Any notes that you save when creating a new interaction right here will also show up in the Notes tab of a person profile. Thanks for watching. I hope that this helps you to make the most out of Connection Card Pro for your church or ministry.